Hey guys, what's up? So I just want to touch on a topic that I've been thinking a lot about lately, and that topic is purpose. And before I go into it too deep, I should probably go over my background a little bit, just so it's not confusing. If this is the first video you're watching of mine, it can be a little confusing. So first things first, I grew up in a Christian home. I went to church every Sunday. I went to a Christian school from pre-K through high school. My first experience in public school was junior college. That was a bit of a wake-up call. Christianity served me well up until it didn't. And then I really had to start to deeply question things because I am transgender. So I transitioned from female to male. And since doing so, I am 10,000 times happier. I feel like I'm living a more honest life. Just a normal human living my life, but more honestly, truthfully, and happier. So in between those times of figuring out my identity, I hate that word, figuring out who I was, Christianity in a sense, I feel like was a comfort for me for a really long time, up until it felt constricting. So since then, I've kind of like lifted up that blanket, and I'm still on this journey when it comes to religion and spirituality, stuff like that. I do not consider myself Christian. I do not consider myself any sort of religious whatever anymore. I'm figuring it out. I don't know a lot, but I'm figuring it out. So this is why I make videos about this topic specifically. If you're someone who grew up in a Christian home and you're part of the trans community or LGBT community, or just you're trying to figure things out for yourself, well, hi, I'm doing the same thing. So I talk about these things mostly for my own therapeutic reasons. But anyways, purpose, the actual topic. I've been thinking a lot about purpose because growing up in the church in a Christian home, you're often taught that God has a purpose for you, and He has a plan for you, and He formed you in the womb and everything like that. Just a few Bible verses specifically that were often brought to our attention were Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Also, Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge Him and He will make straight your paths. Not too straight, apparently, though. John 15:7. If you abide in me and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish and it will be done for you. I also beg to differ on that. I prayed to have a penis like basically every day, and that didn't happen until I did a lot of work on my own, and that finally occurred. So yeah, maybe I just wasn't praying hard enough. I don't know. Yes, I have a penis now. What's up? So on another note, purpose. So it's kind of you feel a little lost when you've been so deeply immersed. Like Christianity was all I knew. Jesus, God, I was a Jesus freak. Like I wanted to live my life for Christ in the best way possible. Like when I get into something, I don't just like kind of get into it. I want to be the best at it. I want to be like the best Christian. I want to follow God as closely as possible, be as perfect as possible. Like, oh God, the perfectionist issues, and they run deep. So yeah, I got married when I was 21 years old. I saved myself for marriage. It was basically a very boring life, but it was also very depressing because I just did not feel, I didn't feel good. Even though I was doing all I knew to follow God and be the best Christian I could be, I still didn't feel good. I still felt like something was missing. And the truth is that I just felt invisible. Thanks transition, I no longer feel invisible. I feel a lot more comfortable in my own skin. And when it comes to finding purpose, I gotta say I don't have all the answers for that. I no longer live a life of being an example or being like Christ-like or having some sort of like slightly hidden agenda of showing others how cool it could be to be a Christian, and like inviting them to church and then like slowly converting them into accepting Jesus Christ into their hearts and asking Him for forgiveness for their sins. Like I'm no longer like a secret missionary or some people are more loud about their faith than others. Some are a little bit more secret. You can like compare it to like the music, for example. A more like lay low Christian example would probably be like maybe like POD, and then like the more like loud would be like Michael W. Smith or something like that. But yeah, so once you've kind of like moved out of your religion and your comfort blanket is kind of exposed and you're no longer doing things to like save up treasures in heaven or to get on God's good side so he like doesn't send you to hell and stuff like that. So it's kind of like removing the fear of hell is freeing, but at the same time removing the God has a purpose for you, don't worry, just follow him and everything's gonna be good, can be a little bit anxiety provoking and leave you feeling a little bit lost. So not spending a lot of time putting in the energy and effort to pleasing God. What are you actually on this earth to do? That's a good question. So passion for me now, post-Christianity, post-religion, basically I've found purpose in following my passion. When I'm doing what feels good to me, when I'm deciding to make XYZ decisions, follow, be a good person to be a good person for myself and not for fear of God or fear of hell and stuff like that. Purpose to me is doing what makes me feel alive. And that is what I'm doing now. I'm a personal trainer. I have been wanting to do this for a long, long time, and I am doing my best to help others transform their lives or get to where they want to be in life, or just learn that they're capable of doing a lot more than they could imagine. And that's another thing that I was talking to my brother about this the other day, actually, how it's weird when you grow up in the church, you're kind of taught that in a sense, it's been kind of like ingrained in you that everything you do isn't, you don't get credit for. You don't deserve credit for anything because it's all God. He did everything. Even if you work your ass off to get to a certain, spot in life, that wasn't because you did it. That was because God did it. Anything that was more self-serving, that was also kind of like a big fat no, because it's just like, if you're not serving God completely, then that's not the path that you are allowed to go down. Getting out of that mindset has been super freeing, and still to this day, I have a hard time like patting myself on the back. Like if I worked really hard to get somewhere in my life, it's really hard for me to actually like think, wow, like I can't believe I did that, or I did that. I worked really hard to get there. I deserve this. Like the word "I deserve" does not really exist in Christianity, the church, whatever. So yeah, purpose. I don't even know if we actually need it. I feel like we waste so much energy in our life feeling like we need a purpose, feeling like we should know what our purpose is in life, and feeling lost if we don't have that. But truly, just follow what makes you feel alive, or whatever you're passionate about, follow that. And you can't really go wrong with that. Of course, sometimes it won't always work out, but it's always going to be rewarding despite, failure and stuff like that. You learn from it, you move on, you keep growing. So there's always room for following what you're passionate about, not really focusing so much on purpose as much as just live your goddamn life. That's about it, Yeah. Alright, on that note, I'm going to go live my life now. I'm going to stop rambling and all that fun stuff. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Peace out. I'll see you next time.